There's something flying through the air behind you.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's the weekend around here. It's Saturday. Saturday means rest, relaxation. It means Daddy sporting his Ninja Turtle jammy pants, and it means comfort food. And one of the comfort foods that we like to make around here is something a little sweet. It is a Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip. It's just got a few ingredients. It takes literally no time at all to make it with just a little bit of patience, and your reward, it will be sweet in the end. One of the first things you need is 1/2 cup of baby marshmallows right in a warm crock pot. You need 2 packages of caramel bits. Now, when I was a kid, they didn't have caramel bits. You had to have those individual caramel candies and unwrap each one. By the time you unwrapped them, you'd eaten most of them, so you didn't have any left for caramel apples or whatever. That's why I love these little caramel bits. All you gotta do is open the package, and 1, and 2. Just like that. I will grab a spoon. Right here. I'll clean up my mess, because if I don't clean it up now, she'll make me clean it up later. And stir it all up, get it all kind of mixed in a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. But, see, the marshmallows are already starting to melt up a little bit. This will take your slow cooker anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to melt down. Just like that. So we'll come back in about a half hour or so, and we're going to check on this.
Just tell them you forgot.
But before you go and put the lid on and get this stuff cooking, you might add your 2/3 cup of heavy whipping cream right in there. Otherwise, it's not going to melt very well. Now we'll stir it up a little bit. Get all the caramel bits and the marshmallows all wet, soaking in the heavy cream. Just like that. And now we'll put the lid on, and we're going to let this sit for about a half hour, maybe an hour. It'll depend on your slow cooker. And come back in about a half hour and stir it up and see how she's doing. And then after no more than an hour, it should be all melted down, and then we'll go in and start adding the rest of our ingredients. It is a Crockpot Horchata
Rumchata.
Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip. Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip. Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip. Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip! Some Crockpot Horchata caramel dip.
No!
Okay, so around here it's been about 40 minutes since we put on our marshmallows and caramel bits and heavy cream. So I did stir this off of camera a couple times just to get everything mixed up. So just kind of watch it and stir it up. And as you can see in there, there are still a little bit of caramel bits that haven't melted all the way, but it's really starting to thicken up. I got worried after about the first 20 minutes because it looked really wet, but that's just because the caramel bits didn't melt all the way through. They're starting to melt now, and it is starting to thicken up very well. So we move on to the next part of our little adventure, and that is to get a tablespoon. I've got a pretty tablespoon somewhere. I found it. Now this recipe is, again, the Crockpot Rumchata caramel dip, which means without the Rumchata, it would just be caramel dip. What is Rumchata, you say? I'm really not sure. All I know is it says horchata con ron. Now, I don't know who Ron is or why he's a con, but he likes rum in his horchata. Actually, horchata con ron means horchata with rum. What is horchata? Let's ask a professional. Alexa, what is horchata?
Horchata, or horchata, is the name of several kinds of traditional beverages made of ground almonds, sesame seeds, rice, barley, or tiger nuts.
There you go. It's horchata with a little bit of rum added. Now we are going to use a tablespoon for this, and we're actually going to use 2 tablespoons of horchata for this. Now, if you're a teetotaler, I get it. You don't want to use rum, just make caramel apple dip. Don't put in the rum. I like rum. I'm going to put it in my dip. 2 tablespoons. Look at that milky goodness. That is so good. And here's the next tablespoon. Oops. All right. Now we'll put that in there. And we will stir it up one more time. Don't touch the crock pot like I just did. It is hot. I swear by the end of all these shows I'm not going to have any fingers left. Kind of mix it all up in there. Get that horchata in with all of your melted goodness. Oh, it smells good. You could smell the rum. It smells so sweet. All right, and we're going to continue to let that cook for anywhere between 15 minutes and a half an hour, just until you don't see any more bits, until everything's all mixed up. So 15 more minutes, and we will have Crockpot, horchata, rumchata, Crockpot, rumchata, caramel dip. I can't say it. I still can't say it. I need to keep holding this bottle up to tell me what it is. In the meantime, while I'm letting that heat up and keep melting, I'm going to take my apple slicer and I'm going to slice up 4 apples. Just like this. Now here's the cool thing. Scared the dog I did. It's okay. It's okay. Now here's the really cool thing about an apple slicer. Cris and I had to make dinner for something. I can't remember what it was for one night.
In preschool, you had to make like a huge vat of mashed
that's
potatoes.
what it was. Had to make a bunch of mashed potatoes. And this was before we found a really good prepackaged mashed tater thing. We don't like the powdered stuff. We like real mashed potatoes. I'm going to throw a quick shout out to Bob Evans. They're about as close to mom's as I've ever had. But before we had discovered that, I discovered that cutting up a 5-pound bag of potatoes was no fun. So I got all MacGyver-esque and I took a potato and used an apple slicer, and in no time at all I was able to chop up a 5-pound bag of potatoes with it. All you do is take half a potato. So I'm going to take half an apple and kind of pretend with me. Pretend with me. We're going to pretend now. Remember Mr. Rogers, how he would always go to the land of make-believe? We're going to do that now. Pretend that this is a potato, okay? Cut your potato in half. And then you've got a flat surface now for your potato. And then you just go boom, boom, just like that. You've got potatoes and one scared dog. And now I've just completely messed up a perfectly good apple. But I think it was worth it.
Being very Gallagher-ish.
For this.
It's like splattering.
We got any watermelons? We'll throw that one away. But that is a really cool way to make up potatoes if you want to do it homemade. If you don't want to run to the store and get Bob Evans mashed potatoes that taste almost exactly just like my mom's. But that is how you do potatoes. And as you can see, it's also how you do apples, which is really what this thing's for. There's got apple juice in my eye. Glad we're not doing lemons. All right. So my apples are all chopped up. Almost. There we go. Apples are all chopped up. Let's get all the seeds out of them. Sometimes the apple core doesn't quite get all the seeds. I don't like having seeds in my apples. Or my grapes. I've never understood. Now that they've invented seedless grapes, why you still have seeded grapes in a grocery store. You know, it just makes no sense because you think, oh, here's a grape, and you bite down into it and you lose half a tooth. I don't like that. Okay, oh, this bowl's too full. I'm going to have to take one. All right, so Rumchata, good stuff. I was introduced to it by a friend of ours. Her name's Leah, and she's got a blog called Farm Wife Drinks. I think it's thefarmwifedrinks.com. Is that right?
We'll link it.
If that's not right,
I think
sorry,
it's
honey.
Farm Wife Drinks. No,
Farm
D.
Wife Drinks?
I don't think it's D.
There's not the Farm Wife. I didn't say
I'm not
the.
sure.
Let's put it this way. We're going to show you a link in this that's going to take you straight to Leah's site. She is a farm wife, and she drinks. I mean, she makes drinks. She makes great drinks. We were at a New Year's party, back New Year's Eve, and they made, no, it wasn't a New Year's party.
It doesn't matter.
We were at a party after New Year's, and she had made a margarita punch, and it was weird looking because it had berries and fruit juices and a little bit of tequila and jalapenos. And I thought, man, you put jalapenos in a punch? Well, it puts the punch in the punch, but it was fantastic. And she's got so many different drink recipes on her site. I absolutely recommend you check it out. If you are a drinker, make sure that you do it responsibly. And if you want to find some good drinks responsibly, go over to her page and check out Farm Wife Drinks. A little shout out to Leah. We love you, girl. And I'm going to go back and stir this up. Now, it hasn't been anywhere near even 15 minutes, but I'm looking at it now, and most of the bits are gone. And even after you unplug your crock pot, this is still going to be hot, and those bits are still going to melt down. And holy cow, that horchata really smells good.
Rumchata?
That rumchata totally smells good. I still can't say it right. So, of course, you got to do a taste test. Otherwise, you wouldn't think this is real, right? So, again, you wouldn't dip from a slow cooker at a party, but this is my party in my house, and I'm dipping straight from the slow cooker, so I just lost the apple. Oh, that's hot. Okay. So, also be careful, because, again, the crock pot cooks things, and things will be hot, so it smells really good. Oh, wow. So, you definitely taste the caramel and the marshmallows. But, you know, you think when you put alcohol in a dish, all you're going to taste is the alcohol. You really don't. I taste the sweetness from the horchata in the rumchata. I meant to do it like that time. But you taste the sweetness of the rumchata without really tasting the rum. So, I guess if you wanted to taste horchata and you're not a drinker, you go to the store. I would go to the ethnic cuisine, I would say, especially the Mexican foods, where you would find things like tamarind drinks and stuff like that. That's where you're going to find horchata. So if you don't want a rum and make rumchata, but you still want the flavor of that in this, I would go get some horchata and try it, because that's what this is. It's horchata with rum. Or as it says there, horchata con ron. And all I gotta say is...
Isn't that dripping down your hand?
It is. It is. But it's okay. I'll eat it. Again, rumchata, horchata con ron. I just want to tell Ron thanks for making that, because it's really good. I also want to thank you guys for watching. You can find this recipe, again, at recipesthatcrock.com. There's going to be many, many more. There's not going to be much of this dip left over for you. Sorry, but that is super good. One thing I do want to tell you, as the person who does all the dishes in this house, who does some of the dishes in this house, sometimes I do dishes. And when I do, and we have a dish like this, let me warn you right now, when you unplug this crock pot, this is going to cool off. And when it cools off, it will not look like this. It will be hard as a rock, or pretty much hard like a piece of candy, because it's going to cool off, it's going to set up just like caramels do. I highly recommend that once this is cooled down to where it is warm, get it out of your crock pot, your slow cooker, whatever you're using, and put it in a Tupperware container, a small bowl, something like that, because it's going to clean up a lot better than what it does in this thing. Again, this is Mikey, or as they call me around these parts, the good old boy from recipesthecrock.com, and we want to thank you again for watching us cooking Chris's dishes. I want some more apples. Who am I kidding? I just want some more of that horchata. Rumchata.
You're dumping it everywhere.
Not good.
Oh my!
Ay, mi amor, te amo mucho, mi Rumchata.
She's like, you don't even know my name.